Alright, got these cleaned up. Came off of this. As you can see right there, it broke. And I was able to put this together on a pipe, clamp it down, keep this lined up, and that kept this outer profile where it should be, as I used JB Weld. Now, this is the issue we run into when we're trying to use an original casting. There is so much draft here that, you know, it was going to come out. But if this thing had had like a 1 or 2 degree tapered side, being a casting, I wouldn't have been lucky like this. There are areas in here that were worn away off the original. I don't know if that's if that needs to be there or not. I think we discussed that along with right here. I could have used my finest sand and it wouldn't have come out looking any better than this. Anytime you use a casting, you're going to have a very poor replica. And the purpose these are going to serve, it's not going to matter what they look like. Poor old Dollar had a traumatizing evening, and it's hard to calm her down. She's a very nervous dog sometimes. Aren't you, girl? Yep. Yep. But anyway, she came out here to tell me it's almost 11 o'clock, so we got to go to bed. That's what happens when the fire brick melts down and chokes out the tweer. Got to get this crap out first. Alright, I think I got it cleared out. We're ready to go here. Well, this was not the prettiest pour. I aspirated on one of these. I believe it was this one. I'll be surprised if that one turns out. But we only had 3 of these to do, so this is 9-inch straight edges. If you have an animal that you have one of those shock collars on that activates, they get so many feet away from the transmitter in a house, and you take them for rides, make sure that you take that collar off of them first. I feel awful about giving Dollar electroconvulsive therapy earlier, but anyway, she's talking to me again, so that's all that matters. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 castings that we poured last night, and as I said, we may have one that's scrap. Sure enough, it's this one. When you aspirate, which is what happened to this one, it sucks air in between the pour. So you're starting a good flow of iron, and it starts filling the riser, the runner, the gates, and all of a sudden you get a slug of air going down through there because I didn't hold the crucible just right over the pouring basin. You get a bunch of trash that works its way down through here below the top of the riser because most of the contaminants are already in here. So now you're pouring more contaminants in that it can't trap, and they go straight through the plumbing. And so anyway, I am going to cut this off. I'm going to cut the gates off, and we'll just take a quick look at it. So far, that looks pretty good. But, like I said, I'm not going to chance that. We got the wheel and 3 straight edges cleaned up tonight. I'm going to put them in the kiln along with the 2 cane mill knives. Go ahead and cut the kiln on, and when I get ready to leave for my day job in the morning, it should be up to temp to where I can just switch it straight over to automatic, and it'll cycle down through the day. Possibly tomorrow evening when I get off work, I'll be able to package these. If not, I'll start making molds. Alrighty, this is everything out of the stress relief process. Alright, I'm trying to come up with a quick fix for that little crack right there. It's just big enough to dump a gallon or so of sand out the chute before it gets mold. So I'm gonna, it's on a hinge. Pull this pin out and it drops down, and wait a minute. Oh yeah. But if I loosen these screws, it might let me have some adjustment. Let me try that. Okay, this is the back side of the screws. That's one solid plate. I was hoping it had a top plate that slid in and out, but I was wrong. The only adjustment I would have is back here. If the holes were offset, probably 60 thousandths. So if I took this off, and you know what, that rod might be bent. Kind of looks like it. Maybe not. Alright, I am just going to build up some JB weld on the edge of this, and then I'll sand it down. I'm going to put quite a bit of goop on it. It looked like it needed to go about a 1/16 or 60 thousandths to fill that crack in, and I got thinking about it. If I just go ahead and mix up some of this, put it along that lead edge, because the sides are good, that should take care of that. And I've got 2 little gaps on each side of this, right above these hinges, and I'm going to have to, I'm probably just going to force some wood shims up under that, and that'll stop all that loose sand from coming out. I need something to set it on. Something like that. Get him, Dollar. It's not going to be enough. Josie went ahead and got the parts all packaged so they're ready to ship. My original plan was to be making molds tonight, but we're going to get this fixed. Oh yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's going to give me plenty of material to file down or whatever I have to do. I only needed to go about 60 thousandths, and now I've got at least, crap, didn't mean to do that. Now, put some weight on it. I meant to give that to Keith when he was here the last time. Good thing I didn't. Let's put a 12-inch on there. Put a little more weight on it. All right, that's all we can do tonight. I just saw something fly across the moon. Let's see if I see that again. That was weird. I'm always looking for green men. You ever wanted to go to the moon? I haven't. That would suck. I am gonna make an electric furnace. This came from the SUHNER Museum. Anything I get from there means a lot to me sentimentally, and I don't like doing what I'm gonna do here, but this is the perfect size for the jacket, and it's heavy enough. It will serve a good purpose for this, so I'm just reincarnating it into something else I can use foundry related. Well, I took Dollar for a ride today. We went up to the cracker station, and right as I got up to Highway 13 and stopped, she jumped out of the bed of the truck and ran across the highway to the store and where I was pulling in. Of course, I spanked her, and she's not going to get to ride in the truck for a while. She is grounded. Let's get back to this project. Figure out how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to put it in the shaper. Decided to just skip the shaper and do this by hand on my lapping board. It's just a real rough grit sandpaper taped with double-sided tape. I just eyeballed it the other night, and I know I've got at least 60 thousandths crack there that I need to fill in. I'm starting to get a little out of parallel here, so I need to put more pressure here. Getting pretty close to where I want to be down here. Let's just put it back in and see what it looks like. Got it back in there, and it's looking pretty good. along this front edge here. Now I can pull it back, I notice, and it does gap open, but not like it did last night. I'll just have to remember to keep some pressure applied to that. Now, one of the ways I can fix that is put some kind of a spring mechanism in between this shaft and the actual plate itself. That will work. And I've noticed one more thing. I've got a crack here now. So, and it is that bad. I shine light through it, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll go ahead and get some sand mold and get some molds made. But that's going to be, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this lead edge. Hopefully that'll hold up. The other problem I'm having is right here, above that hinge in that crack. I got sand that's pushed out here and right there. Probably gonna go ahead and put some JB weld in there. Mix it up, let that dry, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I need to be using it. 102 degrees out here, guys. It is an oven. One of my commenters made the statement about Dante's Inferno. It's just about like that right now. Speaking of comments, if I don't reply to yours, I do try to show that I did see it. I'm getting a bunch of them, and I try to find time to reply to each one if it's possible, even if they're in Russian. And to my Russian friend, I do have a translator that's helping me reply to you. No, I don't know Russian, so if you're wondering. I wonder how my operation would go over in Siberia. I'll bet it's cooler there. It's been so hot out today that Buddy's been peeing steam. This is what we're going to be molding tonight. We are going to have some fun with this little socket head here. Hopefully it'll come out with no problem. We'll see. We are going to be using a false bottom for this. I'm going to start off by just putting some regular old unsieved sand under there to support it. I want that part of it to be on the plane. Now, I'm getting this super hard because, as I said a while ago, this is going to be a false drag. We're going to have to use it twice. That ought to be enough. You would never ram a regular mold that hard. If you were noticing, I'm using the Mr. Pete rammer here. This is one he gave me. It's a good bit heavier than the one I normally use. Now I've got to come down and establish a parting line, which is going to be halfway down that surface. Now my draft angle does increase. It's not negative draft. That's good. I see the parting line from the forge mold about right here. This is my adjustable wrapper. We have a new established parting line. That little socket is going to be a doozy. I can try pinning it. We won't be pouring these on this video. We'll catch you up on it on the next one. Just making sure I have no soft spots. Now when I do that, when I'm wrapping this flask, I'm wanting to drop that casting off of here. I want to go ahead and get it loosened down. And what better time to do it than with the false drag holding the position of that. I'm going to flip the whole thing over, keeping it together, and from there, once I get it turned over, I'll remove the false drag. Now we had this loose earlier. Son of a gun didn't come out. For those who have not seen me use a false drag, now you're seeing it. The false drag will establish the parting line so you can use it several times. I'm going to try to be careful and keep a steady hand as I just let this fall right back into place. This is now the drag. We're going to treat it as the drag. We'll cut our runner in here after we round this part up, and we're going to tie in here to the handle. I'm going to put one here and one here. I'm going to keep that screw exposed where I don't hit it. I'm going to go ahead and cut our runners now. Blow some compressed water on it. Set this on the conveyor. On my drag, I'm running under the parting line, and my runner runs right through here. So I'm going to take and connect my sprue hole to the runner. Make sure I hit the pouring basin this time. I have a confession to make. I've been fighting a cold, and when I was doing that sloppy pour, it was because I was fighting the drowsiness of the meds I was on, which I know is not the best thing to be doing, but at least I got it done. And I can move on to this other stuff. I want to give y'all the opportunity to buy a tilt furnace. It's not mine, and honestly, I would love to have it, but as I was telling this gentleman, until I get my building finished, I don't need to buy any more equipment. I'm starting to pull from my building fund for this additional stuff, and I want to get my air conditioner, especially my air conditioner, and my heat going for this winter. I want to be comfortable while I'm making molds, and this is also going to benefit me on the sand, on the condition of the sand. It won't be drying out so fast. It will maintain a consistent moisture content. But I want you to check this furnace out. If you take a look at it, it's pretty nice. It's a nice large capacity tilt furnace, and it's coming from a foundry that was pouring strictly aluminum with it. So the refractory, I haven't seen it, but it should be in really good shape. It comes with the blower and the two-man ladle, from what I can tell in the pictures. But if you're interested, contact Billy. His number is 703-368-2321. Sure, he'll be glad to answer any questions you might have about it. I was going to have Leo, the guy that had the cane mill knives, I was going to cut a quick video of him when he came to get his castings. They came while I was still asleep this morning. I was up till really late, and I sent a text to him yesterday evening, when is he gonna arrive out here today, and it didn't go through. So much for that. But anyway, he got his castings and they cut out, and I'll make sure he doesn't pee on me. But anyway, I think this is a good spot to cut it. I will show pouring the handles next week, along with whatever else I'm working on. I want to give a special attention to Y-pop. I put the option out there for, I guess, the first person to reply today anyway, to give me an idea of what to title this. So he gets all the credit for the name of this video. In the future, I want you guys to give me some ideas, because basically it looks like all my videos are going to be the same. It's going to be a lot of miscellaneous stuff going on. I get writer's block, and I just can't seem to think straight sometimes. But if you've got some good ideas for titles for these videos, send them to me. If I use them, I'll definitely shout you out on here and give you all the credit. So I will see y'all next Sunday. Until then, be safe, and we'll talk to you then. No. Don't throw it. Don't throw it.